Well, this might be the worst feeling I think I've felt in a very, very long time. The Arizona Cardinals end up losing to the San Francisco 49ers in another beatdown. Don't let the scoreboard fool you, ladies and gentlemen. The Arizona Cardinals got handled. Let's dive into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. On this channel, we're covering the Arizona Cardinals news, breaking news, conversational pieces, everything surrounding your favorite team. So subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. The Arizona Cardinals are now dropping to 3-7 on the season, while the 49ers now advance to 7-4. And not just that, the Cardinals put themselves in a hole and landed themselves in 0-4 in the division. You got 2 games left against the Los Angeles Rams. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to come out with another win. I really I don't know where a win is coming from, but this team right now is as bad as we've seen it. Now, we're going to be diving into this game here in a nutshell. We're also going to be talking about Jonathan Gannon. Does he deserve to keep his job? Should the Arizona Cardinals just, rip the Band-Aid off and start off fresh? We're going to talk about it all. But first, let's talk about this game in a nutshell. This game started off in the 49ers' favor with a huge run on special teams. From the very first play that the Cardinals decide to have them start off with the ball, they made a special teams play that put them within the 5-yard line. And the next play, within 16 seconds, they scored a touchdown. And that was Christian McCaffrey dropping 7-0 on the Arizona Cardinals' heads. And from there, it seems like it was just a snowball of effect that just we never really could go anywhere from there, unfortunately. The Cardinals do score a touchdown in the first quarter, then follow up with 3 points. So we had 10 points going into the half, and they end up scoring 25 points. So it was 25 to 10. So it seemed like it was kind of attainable for the Cardinals there. But like I said, don't let the scoreboard fool you, right? The way that this is ending is 41-22. The Cardinals can be 41-10, but garbage time. There was a lot of yardage and points being put up on the board. But overall, man, this game was pretty disappointing. It really was, especially when you came off a shellacking against, when you went against the Seahawks. You thought that you would be getting an opportunity for this team to kind of say, okay, fight back for your coach, fight back for your team, fight back for your pride. And they did quite the opposite, right? Now, one of the big things that stood out to me is that Brock Purdy ended up playing in this game. He came back, right? His, I guess, coming back party from his injury. He was 17 for 24, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. George Kittle, 6 receptions, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey also got involved as well. He wasn't as effective in the run game, but he did enough, right? I believe he got a touchdown through receiving as well as on the ground as well. They did enough for them to just run away with this game. There was 2 interceptions from Jacoby Brissett. Brissett didn't have a great game. He really didn't. I feel like we kind of reverted back to the conservative nature, dinking and dunking, that type of thing. And it was kind of frustrating to see. But overall, if you look at the stats from Jacoby Brissett, he put up a lot of yards through the air. And I mean a lot. Jacoby Brissett ended up finishing off this game 47 for 57. Yes, you heard that right. 47 for 57, 452 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Mind-boggling. Like, he went absolutely crazy in this game in terms of yardage. But the number one guy that we never would expect to stepped up in this game. Michael freaking Wilson, 15 receptions, 185 yards. You heard that correct. Michael Wilson, 15 receptions, 185 yards. Trey McBride, 10 receptions, 115 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 touchdown to Greg Dortch. That's where all our touchdowns came from. I was hoping to see a little bit more from Xavier Weaver. Didn't really do very much, but, it is what it is. Greg Dortch had himself a game, 6 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Overall, pretty solid, but the run game, non-existent. Again, another one where it's just non-existent. Zonovan Knight, a.k.a. Bam Knight, was our best running back with 5 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown. Other than that, Amari DiMercado, 5 carries, 8 yards. It was a mess. Like, even Michael Carter was 2 carries, 6 yards. It was overall a mess. Another thing that stood out to me in this game was the amount of penalties the Arizona Cardinals had on us. Amount of penalties this team had on us. Um, let's look at the 49ers. The 49ers had 1 penalty for 15 yards. The Arizona Cardinals had 17 penalties. 17 penalties for 130 yards. I mean, you really can't do anything. And I'm not trying to put up excuses for Jacoby, or I'm not trying to put up excuses for this offense. They should have been better. That's factual. But how can you do anything when you feel like anytime you did anything good, any slight or sliver of any hope for this team, you got called back for whatever reason, right? 17 penalties for 130 yards. And there was this crazy, egregious play, or this penalty called on Trey McBride for celebrating, doing this pointing thing where we've seen a lot of people do, and the referees call that on us, and they called it an unsportsmanlike conduct on this team. This was just a disaster of a game from top to bottom. There was just no real, I guess, bright spot. Well, I guess the bright spot is that Michael Wilson, where the hell have you been all our lives, right? And that just kind of goes to show, and kind of talking to the coaching staff, if you had this guy doing this, why aren't we using him as a solid number 2 wide receiver? Too many times have we been disrespecting Michael Wilson, saying, you're not even a 2 or 2, you're a 2.5 or a borderline 3 wide receiver in this league. You're not that great. He stepped up. Absolutely. Now, was that a lot garbage? Yeah, you could say a lot of it was garbage, but even regardless of, what he did in the third and fourth quarter, he took over. As a wide receiver number 1, when Marvin Harrison Jr. was down, he took over. And of course, Trey McBride is going to continue to wreak havoc every single time. That's just what he does. Trey McBride is a beast. That's just what he's going to continue to do. That is who he is. So, honestly, I think I'm kind of getting to the point where, like, more question marks going to this coaching staff. Why haven't we used this guy? I don't get it. Penalties were egregious. We could never really get anything on the, uh, um, on the offense very good at all. In terms of player stats, we did see Josh Sweat get a sack. That was actually kind of cool to see. So Josh Sweat got a sack, and we saw PJ Ojulari get involved as well. I believe it was on a 2-point conversion when they tried to go for, like, scoring more than 41 points on us. They went for a 2-pointer. I think BJ Ojulari was the one who got back there, if I can remember correctly. But other than that, it seemed like Brock Purdy was kind of just chilling back there. He really wasn't pressured as much as I thought he would. It sucks to see all this money and draft capital to this defense, and we allow the 49ers to drop 41 on our heads. So overall, a lot, right? A lot of ugliness. Now, I know the big question mark out there is like, oh, if Kyler Murray was playing in this game, would he, been better? I mean, I guess you can say, looking back what we did in the first few weeks, the games were much closer, right? But, like, at the other side of the coin, you also didn't see 130 yards worth of penalties, and you didn't see a really bad run game like we're seeing in this game. And it's just maybe, right? All I'll say was maybe. I don't know, right? Obviously, things are differently. I don't know. I can't answer that question, but the Cardinals got beat down. They got shellacked. I mean, there's no other way to say it other than that. They got beat down, and it's humbling. It really is, because this team is not great. Let me go ahead and give a real quick shout out to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube, the guys that are keeping the lights on. That's going to be none other than Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats for players like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, and fantasy points, and more. For up to 100 times a payout on Sleeper, get your picks right and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF and you can get up to a $100 deposit match on your initial deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. Everything will be in the description below of this video. And then on top of that, you will also be getting a free $20 if you do use my promo code. They'll just provide that to you. No deposit needed. Make sure you check out Sleeper, proud sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan throughout the entirety of the 2025 season. But let's keep the conversation going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about, should Jonathan Gannon and this regime get fired? I think it's that time. What Cliff Kingsbury has done in 3 years compared to what Jonathan Gannon has done in 3 years is night and day difference. Like, Jonathan Gannon has not even came close to the year 3 that Cliff has compared to him. It might be time. It might be time now. Will we see Bidwell make a decision like this when we got what 7 games left? Well, I mean, what else do you have to lose? You're 3-7. You're 3-7 right now. You're done with 10 games. You got 7 games left under your belts. What do you really have to lose? Now, you can't say things like, "Oh, it's close anymore," right? "Oh, we're so close within these games." Now, you can also blame injuries. Yeah, I guess you can throw injuries in there, but it takes a real good coach to overcome those injuries, right? To put the players in the best position available. You see Kyle Shanahan over there with arguably one of the worst injuries a team's been dealing with for a very, very long time. And they're 7-4, right? They're 7-4. Now, are the Cardinals dealing with more injuries than them? I mean, maybe right now, probably in terms of starters. Mac Wilson's on IR. Marvin missed this game, could potentially miss more weeks. James Conner has been obviously hurt for a very long time. Trey Benson hasn't come back. There's a lot of issues within this organization. There really is. But honestly, I think it's going to come down to, did this team fight hard? And I guess you can say they did fight to like the very end, but they got beat. Like, this score was only as close as it was because garbage time touchdowns. That's why Jacoby Brissett threw 452 yards. That's why 57 times he threw the ball. Insane. Absolutely insane. I hope that Jonathan Gannon and Petzing and Rallis really takes a good hard look at themselves, because they're not the answer. I'm going to be real. If they get fired, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be surprised. But I also wouldn't be shocked or surprised if it took until the end of the year for the Cardinals to do it, because that's the way that Bidwell does things, right? He allows things to fester until it's too late. At this point, maybe just kind of get it out of the way and kind of see what an interim guy will do. And if he can't do anything, then okay, we start planning on for the future of 2026 with hopefully a higher draft pick. And we'll kind of go from there, because as of right now, I was really hoping that the Arizona Cardinals draft pick was going to be able to be better. And right now, looking at Tankathon, we're still sitting at the 10th overall pick. We're still. So we need a lot of things to happen to get us into the level to be the top 5, right? And if you want to get a quarterback, you got to be in the top 5. You just have to. So Cardinals still top 10. We're at top 10 right now in terms of the draft pick. Not good, but there's a lot of bad, mediocre teams right now. A lot of bad, mediocre teams. The Jets, New Orleans, the Giants, Tennessee, Washington, Vegas, and we're just kind of piled up there somewhere. But overall, ladies and gentlemen, what are your overall thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I don't know where to go from here as a Cardinal fan, because I also don't have faith that if Monty Austinford is going to be picking the next QB or the next head coach, I don't know if I have the faith in him. What he's done in 3 years has not been great. I'm going to be real. It's not been great at all. Monty Austinford, although you can say great draft picks or good draft picks here and there, I don't know if I have full confidence in him, or maybe even Bidwell to even get a new, general manager. All these things that it's that very common quote out there. It's not always greener on the other side, right? Because you get rid of Cliff, you're hoping for better, but we just regressed. Who's to say that if we go after a new guy, it won't be even worse? I don't know. At this point, I'm pretty deflated as a Cardinal fan. We got beat. We got shellacked. We're 0-4 in the division. We're 3-7. But the Arizona Cardinals are going nowhere fast. Let me know your overall thoughts here in the comments below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.